YouTube, I posted something on Twitter recently that got a lot of positive feedback. I was pretty surprised by the way that people were responding to this post. It was very interesting to see the variety of responses, the different takes that people had. But frankly, I was pretty surprised by the response, given that I was unsure as to whether or not I was even going to post it. As indicated by the fact that in the post it says, feel super cringe to do something like this, but I want to improve while also not being a jerk online. And this is a couple of different affirmations that I have gotten into the habit of meditating upon before I play online ranked gaming sessions. I play Street Fighter in particular right now. I used to be a big Rocket League guy. I'm a big Mulder, dude. I am absolutely, unequivocally someone that gets really frustrated with online ranked. You find me in an offline tournament, I'm super nice, and I like to think that I'm an agreeable person, but when it comes to online, when it comes to anonymity, when I can't see the other person that I'm playing against, I tend to get really frustrated. I am a crash out merchant. I am someone who invites people to custom lobbies in Street Fighter 6 after matches to say passive aggressive stuff. It's always something that's like downplaying your skill or your ability as a player. It's always like, oh wow, I didn't realize that you could play the game while having your brain completely off. Like passive aggressive stuff that some people might find funny, but it is coming from a place of like absolute frustration. As evidenced by this tweet exchange with NY Mando, a player with whom I was playing against at 2 a.m. ranked. He was playing his unpracticed Ryu, and the way that he was playing was super like neutral based, and I just couldn't get in, and it was super frustrating. And I said this is like evidence of the fact that I'm a crash out merchant, okay? 1:57 a.m. ranked, fake Bruno. It's crazy how dumb you're willing to go. It's amazing. Wow. Like that's what I was trying to give off. And this was pretty embarrassing for me. This is not the first time that's happened where someone's clipped what I put in a custom lobby and posted it on X. It's not how I want to engage with the world. It's not how I want to interact. It's not how I want to be known as a person. I'm a dad. I'm a freaking husband. I'm a homeowner. You know, like I want to be a professional in the fighting game space in particular. I also want to foster and cultivate positivity around that which most of my time is spent, right? So I was like, man, like I don't want this to be my legacy or who I am, you know? And it's like crashing out at 1 a.m. Like I don't think that anybody is making any value statements about me in particular, but it's how I view myself, you know? And, you know, you as a player, you've got the way that you interact and engage with the world. You've got the things that you're thinking about how you impact the world or your relationship with communities or other people. Like you've got ideas and values and ideals about how you want to engage with the world, right? Everybody does. And this does not align with how I want to engage with the world. I am preparing for EVO 2025, right? I'm going to Vegas. It'll be my second time. And at the 100 days away mark, I decided like, oh, it would be a cool YouTube video if I documented my progress doing committed practice and intentional focus on improving in Street Fighter 6 and documenting my milestones and the progress that I hope to make over the course of the 100 days. In keeping with that video idea, I wrote down a couple of different affirmations that I want to reflect upon. Not only affirmations, but I wrote down like a habit tracker of things that I want to do on a daily basis consistently that I think promote growth and progress in fighting games. What I find interesting about this is that it promotes growth and progress in life in general, and the outcomes improve in game as well, right? So this is not just to say that freaking reading or journaling has anything to do with Street Fighter 6. It's just to say that these behaviors, if I'm able to repeat these behaviors, then it's likely to have a positive impact on my gaming, right? So you've got things like Bible reading. That's just a personal value that I've got. I'm a Christian, so I want to prioritize Bible reading. Journaling, writing my thoughts out, like literally writing out what I recount or what I recall about the day, good things that happened, bad things that happened. The other day, my almost 1-year-old took a nap with his mom and I in the morning, And that was the first time that he's like taken a nap with us. And it was really sweet. So I wrote it on my journal. And what's interesting about that is that when I crash out, I'm able to take a moment, recollect my thoughts or emotions, maybe go back to my journal to see the things that I'm prioritizing. And I'm able to look back at an entry the other day that says, I'm really happy because our son took a nap with us. And I'm like, okay, maybe this my OD fan setup in the corner isn't all that bad because I'm a dad and I'm happy about the fact that my son is growing to be a great, little kid. It's not that serious. Journaling, reading is something that doesn't necessarily have an impact in game, but can be beneficial out of the game. Affirmations. So the affirmation portion I'll get into, and I want to break down each of the affirmations and why I wrote them down, why I think that they're all important. Meditation. The meditation in particular that I do is a meditation from Andrew Huberman called Non-Sleep Deep Rest. It's a 10-minute guided meditation whose purpose and intention is for you to realize that you direct your focus. You direct your focus and your perception. I have ADHD and I struggle with focus, so this meditation helps me reclaim my focus and that to which I'm directing my attention. Okay, drills. So in one of these tabs, I've got a video of whiff punish drills. I'm gonna be compiling, I'm gonna be adding to that list of drills that I do on a daily basis, going into the training room and labbing out either combos or situation scenarios, whiff punishes, perfect parries, whatever the case may be, drills. I do that for 30 minutes. Play at least 3 rank sets. This is not at all hard for me. As a matter of fact, it would probably be harder for me to only play 3 rank sets and then call it a day and then just look at my replays after that. But that's one of the habits. Watch rank set replays, watching my gameplay back so I can assess the areas that I need to improve. Enter online weeklies. I've made a habit of entering TNS, Can Opener, FlyQuest Fight Series. In addition to that, watching MR replays, 100 MR above my current rank, because it's not always useful to watch top players play because they're playing such a different game. Like the theory of their spacing and their not whiffing and like doing all this stuff. They're playing a game that's like at their level, and I'm 1700 MR right now, so I can't possibly play that game. So I want to watch, in addition to watching top players, I do think that it's a good thing to watch top players, but in addition to watching top players, watching 100 plus MR above my current rank, and then taking notes. I've been using Notion, the website Notion and the app Notion in order to take some notes, and I'm watching my online weekly replays, I'm watching my rank set replays, I'm watching those 100 MR player replays, I'm watching the pro replays, and taking notes so that I can retain the information and apply it for the times that I need to apply it in game, right? That's the habits. I think that this is an important aspect, having positive habits in place in order to positively impact your gameplay. Now let's get into the affirmations. The affirmations, I want to break each one of them down because people had different takes on the affirmations, agreeing or disagreeing about their efficacy or like the mindset around them, and I want you to hear from the source as to why I wrote these affirmations down. And I don't think that I came up with this idea, there's probably resources out there that say similar things, but I wanted to apply it to my gameplay in particular, to Street Fighter 6 gameplay in particular. If you play fighting games, if you play competitive games, you can take these principles and apply it to whatever space that you're in. But I wanted to create something that was like going to help me, Franco, Fake Bruno, for Street Fighter 6. My opponent is not my enemy. Okay, yes, they're my opponent. I am going against them in a 1v1, but they're not my arch enemy in real life. The reason why I write this is not so that I don't have like a cutting edge. Like as a competitor, I want to have a cutting edge and a wit and a sharpness to me that wants to defeat the person that I'm playing against. But at the same time, I don't want to make an assessment or a value judgment about the person that I'm playing. The person is not lame or carried or stupid or dumb or any of the other adjectives you use to describe people. My opponent is my opponent. I am going against them. They're not my enemy. That's that. There is an answer to every situation. There is a reason why I got mauled in the corner. I didn't have effective or active enough defense. There's a reason why I got whiff punished. There's a reason why somebody in the tweet thread said, no, I didn't make a mistake. They just jabbed. They just got lucky because they whiff punished one of my jabs. Well, if you're mashing jab on wake up and you're like close spacing, there's a, like, don't mash jab in a similar situation next time. Go for a medium, go for a heavy, like whatever the case may be. There's an answer to every situation. It feels often like the other player won because of luck or Rashid level 2 or my OD fans. Like, there's a reason why you lost. And this applies to every single competitive game out there. Losing doesn't make you a bad person. Winning doesn't make you a good person. This is really important to me because the emotions associated with losing, if you're not careful, you will cross the wires and make a value assessment about yourself, about who you are. Because it's, if you lose, you are a loser, right? In the game. But that's not true about who you are. As someone who has ADHD, who struggles with a lot of different things, it's hard for me to have affirmative, positive self-talk. And if I'm losing, if I'm going through a slump, it's easy for me to associate the losses in game with my outcomes in life, or who I am, or, you know, my future, or like what good I am to the world, you know? So losing doesn't make you a bad person. Conversely, winning doesn't make you a good person. I have met a lot of my heroes. I have met a lot of my idols, and they are just as flawed, just as crappy, just as dubious morally as anyone else can be. I was thinking recently about Michael Jordan, the winningest, like one of the GOATs of basketball. Although I think LeBron, when he finishes his career, I think statistically he's going to be the GOAT. By all available metrics, personally, knowing Michael Jordan personally, he was a pretty crappy guy. And I'm not Michael Jordan. I may not ever win an Evo, although I hope to, and I'm going to practice as though I can. I don't want to be a crappy person that doesn't tip well or doesn't engage well with the world. It's not worth it. Street Fighter fighting games are not worth being a crappy person and engaging with the world in a negative way. So winning doesn't make me a good person. No matter how my opponent wins, it's not a reflection of who they are. Now, I got a valid criticism about this point because fighting games are a conversation, and competitive games tend to be a conversation about the judgments that you make, the habits that you form, the tendencies and the things that you tend to do, right? That is true. But if my opponent won by using Rashid level 2 and they clipped me low, they went into enhanced mixer and they got like a fat combo, it doesn't mean that the human on the other side of the screen, the other person, is a carried person, right? Like this is not an assessment about who the person is, no matter how they won. If they just, every time they SPD'd on your wake up when they got a hard knockdown, it's not to say that they're stupid and they only make one decision. They made the decision that worked every time and you didn't force them off of that decision, right? So it's not to say that the way that the opponent won makes them stupid or smart or great or bad. It's just they did what worked and it won them the game, right? My skill doesn't reflect my intrinsic value. This has a lot to do with like self-talk, and a lot of this stuff is based on psychology and meditative and spiritual practices. Like, this is just a part of who I am and how I want to approach the games that I play. So if I lose, it doesn't make me a worse person. It's similar to the winning doesn't make you a good person, losing doesn't make you a bad person. It's similar to that point, but my skill does not reflect my intrinsic value. I believe as a Christian that I am beloved by God, that I am made in God's image, and that every single person is made in God's image. Therefore, if I lose at a game, it doesn't revoke that status from me, right? And oftentimes when I'm crashing out, I'll go to bed like I'm a lesser person given that I've lost, right? That's a crappy feeling, and I'm sure that you felt that way at some point in your competitive journey, right? But your skill level does not reflect your intrinsic value. Your skill level reflects your skill level currently, right? And if you want to make progress, that progress is going to be gradual, as we'll see in a couple of affirmations from here. It's going to be progressive, and it says nothing about you except that you've put in the time to get to the level of skill that you're at, right? Practice reduces stress in game. I find myself so stressed out playing against Zangief, playing against Cammy, when I don't know when a dive kick might occur, when I don't know when a neutral skip might occur, and those stressful scenarios put me on tilt and increase the likelihood that I make a bad decision. The only way to reduce that tilt, that stress, is practice. Understanding the scenario, having the necessary information logged in my brain in order to overcome that barrier or counter someone else's strategy. So if I feel stressed and I want to reduce that stress in game, then I need to acquire the information necessary to counter whatever strategy or whatever thing I find myself up against. I threw a tornado shot with Rashid the other day when Cammy had level 3. She did a back tech, she rolled back, and she still hit me with a level 3. I didn't realize that I couldn't throw a fireball at all, even though I had a hard knockdown, or even though I had a knockdown like wake up situation. That's something where if I'm stressed out and I throw a tornado shot just out of like muscle memory, not knowing that I'm gonna get punished with level 3, then having that information will reduce the stress level and will enable me to make the better decision in my next match. People matter. My opponent is a person. This is a personal value thing. I believe that people matter. That, like I said, it's not just me who is created in the image of God. I believe that humanity is created in the image of God. Therefore, it's incumbent upon me as the player, as the person, to behave in a manner consistent with how I view people, which is highly, which is valuable, which is unique, regardless of the person. There are people that I don't like. There are people that with whom I've got issues. Don't get me wrong, but I also think that they matter. People matter. And my opponent is a person. And I'm going to treat people like they matter. My opponent is a person. It's all about reducing the negative impact of anonymity in ranked gameplay. I don't know who's on the other side. What's crazy is I tend to see I will play someone with whom I'm incredibly tilted, invite them to a custom lobby, tell them that they're carried, tell them that they're whack, tell them that they're lame, and then they post like someone on my Twitter timeline posts a combo and they've got the username of the person that I called out, and I'm like, oh, I admire this person. Like, I like what they do. They're really cool. They're really, they've been playing fighting games for years. I've been inspired by their stuff. And once you reduce that anonymity, my contempt goes away. People matter. My opponent is a person. Fight to maintain integrity. That's all about like personal values. I don't want to be a piece of crap. I don't want to be a jerk, regardless of whether or not the other person is a jerk. The other person's behavior is not my responsibility. My integrity is my responsibility. Growth is gradual. I have been working out now for about like 65 days and I've lost around 22 pounds. I'm really proud of that progress, but what I found myself doing upon working out for the first week is taking progress pictures and being disappointed with my results. Like 3 days into working out, like where the frick are the abs, dude? What is going on here? This is not fair. And over the course of 60 days where I started to see some of the progress, I began to appreciate the long-term nature of growth and the fact that like growth is more similar to gardening, and like it's better to look at growth through the lens of seed and plant and seedling, like gardening terms. It's more useful to think about it that way than like quick fix and I'm trying to make a quick buck. Like, it's gonna take time in order for me to see this growth. Consistent effort is the only way to progress. It just requires getting up and taking the next step. It's a matter of consistent, sustained discipline over a long period of time, every single day, building a base of habits, building a foundation upon which I can be proud, and consistently doing it. Consistent effort is the only way to progress. Winning isn't the goal, progress is the goal. NBA seasons are like 85 games. The best teams in the world, the Kobe Lakers, 2004, the 2014 Spurs, the freaking LeBron Cleveland, like these teams, the best that they could do was Steph Curry 72 or 73-9. I'm not sure which it is. But even they lost some games. It's not about winning. It's about consistent excellence, sustained discipline over a long period of time, and being able to take each loss in stride and learn from the losses in order that I might compound my progress, and that'll result in gains down the line. I hope that this is useful. It feels cringe to think about this so deeply, but at the same time, I've put 1,000 hours into Street Fighter 6 up until this point. I care about it. Rocket League players, I came from a Rocket League background in Super Smash Bros. Melee. I know that those players have put 1,000 hours into it, and I get that it's a video game, but you have invested, you have demonstrated through your time what you care about and what's important to you. So treat that which is important with a lot of intention and focus, right? I guess that's more for me than anybody else, but if you struggle with those kind of feelings, then I kind of want to unhitch you from that. And I think that in order to progress, not every top player has had to go this granular, but I need to, okay? And I don't care. So I want to improve. I want to give it my best effort. And this is what it takes in my view.